What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. That engine you just saw is a PRE Racing Pro Drag build. It's gonna be making over 700 horsepower, and it's part of my weekly series that I'm calling my Facebook Best of the Week. It's a weekly countdown of the top 5 videos or posts that have been circulating on Facebook, and I'm bringing it to you guys in this weekly roundup video. Thanks so much for checking out the video, guys. My name's Luke, and you guys are watching the SubaruONLY show.
My little SubaruONLY shop. It's a DIY Subaru channel. It's a channel where all I do is Subaru builds and race Subaru vehicles and motorsport events. It's a DIY themed channel where I walk you guys through the steps to get your Subarus back on the road and hopefully do a little racing of your own. So thanks for checking out the video, guys. I really appreciate it.
Okay guys, without further ado, let's dive into the top 5 videos or posts that have been circulating on Facebook in the past week or so. Thanks so much for checking out the video, and let's check out the first one at the number 5 slot. Okay guys, coming in at number 5, it's a post from Subaru Motorsports USA, and it's a roundup of classic Subarus from the 80s and 90s all the way through to modern day Subarus with the V8 chassis. Check it out, I think you guys will enjoy it. Here we go, check out all these Subarus. This is just a quick flyby, early brats. Look at all these 80s. There we go, there was a GC body. That was a special one, like maybe a lifeguard or an ambulance one, I don't know what it was. There's some newer ones. There might have been an SBX right there, and that was a special edition one, I think. Hawkeye, another SBX. Look at all these amazing cars. An RX, a little Baba, I think. Another RX, a little Outback, a wagon for shit's sake, and of course the Legacy Turbo first gen. And that, my friends, is a Subaru Motorsports USA. That one is our number 5 slot with a quick little run by of an awesome Subaru collection in one of their museums. Thanks so much for posting that, guys. That was an awesome clip. Okay guys, coming in at number 4 is a post from Bakemono or Bakemono or Bakamono, or however you pronounce that. Sorry bro, I don't know how to pronounce that thing at all. But Bakemono, it's a one-man shop here in Southern California, and he's actually working on a collaboration project with 6 Over Crest, where they're doing a left-hand drive WRC carbon fiber dash. Check this out. I've blown it up so you can take a good look at it. Look at this thing. And of course, on the bottom right here, we have the computer renderings with some nice little light shading. And then here in the main picture, we're looking at that carbon fiber dash. Here's all the dials, the proportioning dial for the brake bias, and maybe some suspension stuff. We have all of your little rocker dials right here and all your little rocker switches. And of course, the digital dash for your ECU and your standalone engine management unit. You can see here in the background, you got a carbon fiber door panel as well. And obviously this is built on a full race car. So this is looking sick. I'm super excited for this. Bakemono, 6 Over Crest. If you guys need any custom carbon fiber parts, especially WRC kind of one-off parts, reach out to Bakemono. I think they're down in Southern California. And like I said, it's a one-man shop. Works out of the back of his house, but he makes world-class parts. The parts are being used on race cars all over the world. So reach out to him if you need any carbon fiber parts for your Subaru. Okay guys, coming in at number 3, it's a post from RPG Carbon, and it's one of their new products on the market. It's a carbon fiber dress-up kit using that honeycomb carbon fiber pattern, and it's for your late model Subarus. Check this out. They post a pretty cool video of their whole new kit. Now as I zoom in a little closer here, you can kind of see that carbon fiber, and you're actually going to see that honeycomb pattern in the carbon fiber. And this is the matte finish. It's beautiful work. They even have pieces that go over the strut tower tops, pieces that are chroming over around the brake fluid reservoir. And then there they have the air duct. So not only is it adding pieces that cover things, it's actually replacing that plastic air duct. And the fenders as well. So they got the fender coverings too. And then of course the covering for the fan and alternator. And there's this water ball right there, RPG carbon fiber. So awesome post from those guys. That's our number 3 post for the week, RPG carbon fiber. If you guys need any carbon fiber parts for your Subaru, go ahead and look up RPG Carbon. Okay guys, coming at the number 2 slot is that post from PRE Racing, and it's that pro drag build that's gonna be making over 700 horsepower. Let's take a closer look at that post. This thing is legit. And honestly guys, if I was to give an award out for the sexiest engine bay or the engine porn of the week, this definitely would be it. Check it out guys, this thing is sick. Okay, so what are we looking at here? First off, let's go ahead and just read off their post. This bad boy is almost ready to breathe life. It has a PRE Racing pro drag block on board, as well as a ton of custom fabricated parts. The goals here are to have a nice street machine with 700 plus wheel horsepower, Process West intake manifold, OS Gicken, or however you pronounce that, clutch with front differential, see more. Turbo Smart boost management, and a precision turbo with engine management, I guess. I guess that's precision turbo. So let's take a closer look at this, guys. So the first thing you're gonna notice is this awesome bling bling here in the middle, the gold Process West intake manifold. If you guys aren't familiar with these intake manifolds, these are some of the highest quality on the market. A lot of the high horsepower engine builds use them because they have a really large plenum, which allows these engines to flow good at high RPM. And honestly, I've seen a cutaway of these plenums and these intake manifolds, and these things are actually machined on the inside of these intake manifolds, have really smooth paths for that air to split it up from the common plenum down to each one of those 4 runners. These are really well designed, really well manufactured. Honestly, the price reflects it. I think these things go for about $2,000, $2,500 each. So that's the first thing. You see that gold intake plenum. And of course, you also notice that intake manifold is rotated, right? That's the back of the engine, this is the front of the engine. And so they've rotated that intake manifold. That way, they can actually do a front mount intercooler with shorter piping. It actually makes the geometry of front mount intercooler work a lot better when you rotate that intake manifold. So that's what they have right here. You can see what my cursor is. That's an intake manifold. It's been rotated 180 degrees, and what's coming into it is a cold air charge through this red pipe, right? So that red pipe is powder coated red to match the piping over here and on the inlet for the turbo. So that's a beautiful, nice little color combination they've come up with. That's going into a throttle bar right here. I can tell you right now, that's actually an aftermarket. It looks like a Boomba Racing throttle body. Boomba Racing has been around for a while, and they make these custom larger bore throttle bodies that a lot of the engine tuners and engine builders are using for these high horsepower Subarus. And then it goes through that intake manifold and then down through here, which looks to me like these are some Radium Engineering fuel runners. If you guys aren't familiar with Radium Engineering, go ahead and check them out. They make really high quality components, everything associated with your fuel system, from drop-in pumps in your tank all the way to the runners and stuff like that. So, and incidentally, they actually have a new design on the market we should be featuring on this channel. I should be featuring on this channel at some point, a dual injector fuel rail. So if you guys are having some high horsepower builds out there and you're running out of fuel, or you want to have more options for fuel delivery, make sure you go ahead and check out the Radium Engineering dual injector fuel rails. They're pretty new on the market. And of course, as you move over here, we have the rotated turbo. We didn't talk about that, but a lot of times on these high horsepower builds, you actually have better airflow when you rotate that turbo, and that will just allow you to spool up faster and have less resistance to that airflow. And of course, here in the back, we got to talk about this big thing in the back. That's probably the next thing that stands out. And this is actually an air oil separator, and it's adopted from an old WRC design. And what this is actually an attempt to separate that oil by having the velocity of the aerated oil that's in your crankcase come through these tubes and enter into a big plenum. And as soon as that aerated oil goes from that small diameter tube into that big plenum, the velocity slows instantaneously, and it actually causes some of the oil to fall out of suspension. So that's what this design is. I'm pretty sure that this little tube right here would probably go to the valve cover on this side. This tube right here goes to the valve cover on the other side. And then this tube right here probably goes to that PCV stock location on the top of the block. And all 3 of those tubes are custom plumbed into this big plenum they've designed, or this big chamber they've fabricated. And then of course, these are just actually some air filters to allow the pressure that builds up in this chamber to be vented to atmosphere. So this is actually an air oil separator that's being vented to atmosphere, which wouldn't make it carb legal, but that's not something they're worried about. This is a race only design, race only build. And honestly, for any kind of high horsepower engine or any kind of high dollar engine, frankly, you really want to think twice about reintroducing that aerated oil into your intake, because that's something that can only compromise that air fuel charge, and that could lead to pre-ignition or detonation and damage your engine. So a lot of high dollar engines, and certainly a lot of race engines will go to an air oil setup that vents to atmosphere. So that's our number 2 slot for the week. That's the PRE Racing 700 horsepower pro drag build. And I gotta tell you guys, like I said, this thing is sick. This thing is beautiful. I think the color scheme that they use for this engine is really one of the nicest I've ever seen. Way to go, guys. And for any of you guys out there that are looking at getting a high horsepower engine build, definitely make sure you guys check out PRE Racing. Okay guys, coming in at number 1 for the week, this is a post by KG Motorsports, and it's actually a video of a genuine ProDrive Works WRC car. Check this thing out. This thing is awesome, and I'll also let you guys know this thing's actually for sale. So if you guys are interested in getting an actual piece of Subaru Motorsport history, this sucker's up for sale, and that's why this guy's is number 1 for the week. Check this out. This thing is sick. It's basically just a nice, quick walk around of this amazing, amazing car. Look at the fenders on this thing. Look how wide this thing is. These custom fenders. Of course, it's got an FIA cage. I'm sure it's got a full book. It's got the intake up there. Look at the fenders, continuing the wide fenders, the wide stance. Of course, it's got that full wing with all the little louvers in it to divert the air. And this thing is just beautiful. And it looks like it's in perfect condition. Oh, it's got these carbon fiber WRC mirrors. Look at these small profile little square mirrors. And that, guys, was our number 1 slot, that post by KG Motorsports, a genuine ProDrive WRC race car, and it's up for sale right now. So if you guys want to get the sickest blow-by that you've ever seen, go ahead and reach out to KG Motorsports and check out this car. Thanks so much for checking out the video, guys. That's my weekly top 5 for the week. My name's Luke, and you guys are watching the Subaru Only Show.